Well, good morning to one and all present here. I am Mohit Kishore Vats, Assistant Professor, DME Media School, with my co-host of this session, Mr. Ritik Ghosh, who's also an Assistant Professor with DME Media School. We both together welcome everyone to the Session Orientation Program 2020. And in today's orientation, we are going to talk about digital media marketing, which is the need of the hour. But before that, let me give you all a brief about DME. Delhi Metropolitan Education, DME, is a premier educational institute affiliated to Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University, New Delhi, and approved by Bar Council of India. DME provides first-rate infrastructure with strong academic facilities to render a dynamic grounding for success. It has 3 schools which have 4 academic programs, and these are DME Law School, 2 programs. The integrated programs are BA LLB and BBA LLB. The second is DME Media School, which offers an undergraduate program in Bachelor of Arts in Journalism and Mass Communication, that is BAJMC program. And the third school is DME Management School, which offers BBA, that is Bachelor's in Business Administration. DME's sister college, Technical Campus at Greater Noida, provides the most sought-after programs affiliated to Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University and is approved by All India Council for Technical Education, that is AICTE. The institute imparts technical education in the fields of engineering, architecture, hotel management, and BBA. Now, talking about DME Media School, DME Media School is one of the top media schools in the country, which focuses on the growth of the faculty and the students through academic and co-curricular activities. Now, some of the activities taken by the school are recently in the month of June, we had hosted the world's first Digital Live International Conference, that is Issues of Community, Agenda and News, ICANN 3, and our hashtag was Conference for Change. DME organized this conference in collaboration with Deakin University in Melbourne, Australia, and our knowledge partners were Adamas University, Kolkata, KR University, Gurugram, and Public Relations Society of India, Delhi chapter from June 21 to June 30, 2020. Other than that, we have organized Cineaste International Film Festival, that is CIFI. It was organized in collaboration with Deakin University, Melbourne, Australia, from April 17 to April 20, 2019. We also organized 2 other editions of ICANN, that is International Media Conference, in the year 2018. ICANN 1 was organized on March 9, 10, and 11 on the theme of India and changing aspects of news, while ICANN 2 was held on November 16, 17, and 18 on the theme of Indian cinema and alternate networks. Besides this, we have been organizing BG Varghese lecture series, which is organized every month with eminent media personalities and experts delivering special lectures related to media and other subjects of contemporary value. Now, talking about the lockdown saga, during the lockdown, DME Media, along with its faculty members, prepared video lectures for all its students, and we had organized more than 30 webinars for our students and other stakeholders. The webinars were on constitutional values and cybersecurity. Other than that, to cater to the prospective media students, we had organized Media Master webinar series, wherein we dealt with aspect of media, ranging from print media to TV, to radio, to digital, and to the language media also. Recently, in this month, that is August 2020, we had also started another webinar special series focusing on the students, and that is named as Face to Face. That is an informal webinar series wherein 3 students from all these years, that is first year, second year, and third year, they talk to the dean in an informal manner. Now, let's take a look at the DME's campus, that is the virtual tour of DME.
DME has embraced digital paradigm shift by adopting technology-based learning.
Unlike other colleges, we adopted a 2-step strategy. In step 1, teachers would be preparing the videos, students would be watching them. In step 2, the student would be coming to the tutorial clarifying the doubts, making the presentations, and discuss with the teacher.
At DME, we have invested in the best in the class academic ERP, which allows us to have a 360-degree robust communication amongst all the stakeholders, students and faculty members.
DME's virtual learning mechanism is no less than real-time classroom teaching,
wherein the students are provided the pool of e-learning resources in the form of PPTs, video lectures, and online classes in a very student-friendly environment.
There is no need of mental blocks. Online teaching is as effective and interesting as offline teaching. Let the students enjoy this new mode of education.
In DME, we believe in quality education. We take care of our students. We want to see them happy.
Mental and emotional health are one of the most challenging issues of present times. DME Mentoring Cell takes care of that. Not just this, we go beyond academic curriculum to instill the most important employability skills in our students.
Well, thank you very much for the video. So today we are going to discuss and deliberate on digital media marketing. That is an elective subject of the 5th semester. And we have a very distinguished expert amongst us to take this session. He is Mr. Shibram Mishra. So before we proceed to the session, let me apprise everyone about our expert. Mr. Shibram is an technopreneur and S-marketer by profession. And Mr. Shibram is an IIM certified digital marketer with 20 plus years of experience in web, software development, business development, and digital marketing. Mr. Shibram had the opportunity to work with 300 plus small business owners as well as national and international organizations like Coca-Cola, Airtel, and United Nations. Way back in 2007, when paid advertising was yet to come, Mr. Shibram had generated more than 300 leads of investors for Government of Odisha, out of which 70 signed up with close to more than $1 million of investment. Currently, he's helping many organizations, mainly e-commerce and B2B, to grow. And these are wholesaler.com, which has a monthly revenue of 1 CR, Jaipur Fabric, which has a monthly revenue of 50 lakhs, Hello Kids, which has 690 plus franchises, and Brain Wonders, which has 100 plus franchises. He has also helped startups scale 5 lakh in revenue in 6 months on e-commerce and has been a lead generation for B2B companies, that is SaaS based. He specializes in S marketing, lead generation, and e-commerce sales. We welcome you to the session, sir.
Okay. Good morning, Mohit, and thank you for that lovely introduction. I was blushing actually because we are not used to this kind of things. But Amrish sir, thank you, and Susmita ma'am, thank you for this opportunity. This is a lovely opportunity. I would like to spend next 1 hour with you and share whatever I have learned, whatever I have applied in my career, and how best I can summarize. I will try to do my best and summarize how you can use digital marketing for your career, for your clients, for the organizations you work, or like if you have a hobby, you can do that. If you want to be a independent journalist, you can do that. I'll try to summarize, forgive me if I miss anything. I'll be available to take questions through DME cell, so you can post the questions to them, post the session. If anything is unanswered, I will be happy to answer that. So can I share my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, you can.
Okay. So guys, I would like to keep it interactive. So I'll not put much in the PPT. So I'll also share the PPT to DME, so you can take it from them if it is required. I will be briefly addressing on use of digital marketing in media industry basically. So digital marketing and media industry goes hand in hand. And earlier, people used to say TV is different, digital is different. Now TV has come to digital, and digital is also going to TV, right? 10 years back, I had thought of a thing that, let's say, can we show specific ads to our TV viewers? That was a wish that, can we show that, suppose I am watching like a TV serial. Can I see only ads related to men only? Why should I see ads related to women? Basically, so that was your wish. Now, Netflix is there, Hotstar is there, and other OTT platforms are there, and we are able to serve advertisement to specific audiences. So that is the power of digital media. We can choose whom to show, whom to advertise, whom to reach out. We select our audiences instead of audience selecting us. That is the first power, because we can define, create our content in such a way that it will reach to the right medium. So that is the whole thing I would like to share. And let's say, how we can use it. First and the foremost thing is push marketing. Basically, you are pushing content. Let's say marketing and advertising goes hand in hand. So content publishing is also marketing, because it is reaching out to people through social media or digital media. So push is like whenever you want to publish some content, reach out to a specific type of audience, you can do that. Pull is SEO, search engine optimization. You are available when people are trying to search. You are doing paid advertising. You are building a public relationship, and you are connecting to many people through your social media and other channels. Online reputation management, what people find when they search you, what kind of impression people have. You can also track their sentiments, positive or negative, what kind of comments they are giving, what kind of hashtags they are using, how they are mentioning you, are they happy with your services or products or not, what they think about you. All this thing you can collect. You can of course network with peers, you can network with mentors, you can network with other businesses also. The most important thing is anytime content and anytime marketing. That is the best part. So the moment everything has condensed into a mobile phone, so people can, there is no time limit, there is no prime slot here in digital media. Anytime the customer is available, anytime. So it works best this is my experience. This is not a rule or something. It works best for publishing breaking news. Social awareness is very important. Educative news and articles works best, and we can of course use it for entertainment. Brand building, suppose somebody wants to create an image, that can be done. Let's say it can be a personality, it can be a brand, it can be company, or it can be a product. Reputation management also plays a very important role, and we can do it well through digital marketing. So we will briefly discuss about this, how to do these two things, these two areas. Basically, first is how to distribute our content well, and what are the two platforms we should use, and how to use it effectively. I do believe that any information that we are using or sharing should be useful and usable. So that is the key criteria of any digital marketing content or advertisement or any kind of videos or text or blog or whatever it is. If it is not useful, if it is not usable, people will see and forget it. So that is the key point to be noticed and to be noted. So content distribution can be of basically these four types basically. So first one is news, second one is events, third one, the most powerful in today's scenario, is videos, and last one is blogs. So let's go to the next part. And what are the platform? It can be your own website or it can be social media, right? So what kind of news we should do, and what are the things we should understand while publishing a news article? So news can be video only, news can be article text plus video, it can be image plus text, image plus text plus video also. And now people have started also including a podcast and audio in that. So all possible manners we can do. Text plus video is the best format, and we need to reach people fast. So how we can reach people fast is by building an authority in long run. And we should be visible in the first page or of the web, Google search or any other search engine, so that the moment we push, Google also pushes that. So we need a high authority website for that. What is an high authority website? Who is an authority in real life? Let's try to understand that. Anyone who has lots of people in their network, anyone who has high authority people in their network is a high authority person. Same way, if your website is having 10 good backlinks, let us understand backlinks as referrals. Let's say Amrish sir has a high authority website and he mentioned about my website, so then I got a high authority backlink. So that is how, if good websites are giving links to your websites, so you are getting good backlinks, and that is called good backlinks, and automatically you get authority. So if you have a high authority website, whatever you post will come in the first page. So this is a continuous exercise. There is no formula for that, but there are best practices for that. So content is the king, and the content is for your visitors. So we should always write it from the visitor's point of view. Text and video format is the best format. uh, Appropriate title is very important. What you write in the title, of course, like you guys are from media and better like how to write a better title, but still I will mention it. Thumbnail plays a very important role in digital media, because thumbnail is the scroll stopper. Okay, let's say I'm browsing Facebook, or I'm like browsing Instagram, and randomly people come to see what is good in that. Okay, they will try to find something interesting. So the moment they find a very good visual, they will stop scrolling and they will try to explore. So this thumbnail of any image, like in a video, is important, or having a very good image is important. And these things will make your news more attractive. You must have seen that. If you search, let's say, let me just share my screen and show you something. I'll go to your face. Let me share it. So what makes you different? What makes you unique? That is what we are trying to see. Just a second.
Sir, I hope you're not going to be using YouTube.
No.
Okay, fine.
Any limitation?
Yes, because we are live on Facebook. So just in case if you're using YouTube, the entire video would be blocked.
Yeah, I'll not do that. I say breaking news. So we see different titles. Breaking news August 7. Breaking news live. Then there are videos. There are India news, latest breaking news, India news live, India news, NDTV latest news, India news. See, this kind of thing looks like they have stuffed a lot of keywords, but this looks very irrelevant to me. Breaking news August 7 means yesterday's news. Breaking news live, this is more relevant to me. So what you write in the title is very important. Accordingly, Google is also placing it as a priority. Instead of probably they have the more latest news. I don't say that they are doing bad or something, but what you write, what appeals the people, same news can be served in different ways. So how we present it, what is one small message we want to pass on, so that there is a call to action. We see so many advertisements. We click on some advertisement, we don't click on some advertisement. So high call to action is very important. This applies to any piece of content also. What we write, if I say that okay, we are meeting at 6 o'clock, let's say I say like we are meeting at 6 o'clock for a business networking. So that is one of the title. If I say we are meeting meeting at 6 o'clock for a business networking, which will give you 10 different opportunities in B2B. If I make it more specific, if I make it more tangible, if I make it more attractive, more people are likely to click on your advertisement, or click on your news article, watch your video, or something like that, right? Just a second. Let's go to the next part. Like let's say you are pushing events, like social media is the best way to reach out to more and more people if you are doing any kind of event, offline or online, because you can target people, you can use hashtag, you can use suitable titles and keywords, so that it reaches the right kind of people. So inviting headlines is good. In case of events, it's safe. Instead of just now I said instead of writing a vague title, if you write that what benefit people are going to get from that event, or what is in it for them, what is the direct takeaway out of an event, or in live session, or a webinar, or a video, a call, or a teleconference, or a video conference, anything that is happening in digital. If you tell them the right takeaways, that these are the 5 things you'll get at the end of the session, you will get more participants to watch your webinar, watch your video, and attend and interact with you. Clear call to action, that what needs to be done, that you need to be there at 7 o'clock, you need to be prepared with this, you need to do this exercise, or you need to pay this much of fees, you will get this. All these things are important. Encouraging people to use social share is very important, because social media is owned by people. So we have 2 types of media, like owned media and earned media. Owned media is like what we put in our social media thing. what we put in on our website, what we put in our own platform. But what is more powerful is on media. When people talk about you, sorry, people talk about you, people comment on your post, people share it on their own platform, on own social media handles, that is more powerful. So that is the power of digital marketing, that people can share, people, it can reach out to n number of people we don't even know. That is how news goes viral, that is how videos goes viral. And sometimes who has not expected that I'll reach this many people, can also like and reach out to so many people if the content is good. We should also encourage people to generate content and submit to us. So this is the concept of citizen journalist, or people sharing on the social media, tagging you, public journalist, citizen journalist, we call it basically. And people addressing their, success stories, people come addressing their grievances, people, somebody who is in problem and wants your help can tag you, can reach out to you through social media, can tweet you, can tag you in a tweet. This kind of power is there in social media, and we can do that. So let's say, like, I'm doing an event and I say that, I encourage my event participants to share it on their wall, that, yes, I'm attending this event, are you attending? So this kind of activities will get more attention and people would love that. Moving on, videos content is the king, we say. Now I will say, among the content, video is the king. So people love video because they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, a video is worth 1,000 images, right? So but the two things to be noted here is, most of the videos in social media are watched while they are mute. Okay, unless they're in a very comfortable place where they are putting a headphone, or probably they are in their own room, they will be listening to you. So caption is a must, subtitle is a must for any kind of videos you are posting, because that will also increase your attention span and people will be reading it to the end if it is if subtitles are there. Without subtitle, if your video is not attractive, they may skip it, they may stop it. But if there is a subtitle, even if your video quality is not so good, they will still watch it till the end. So short videos up to 3 minutes works very best for any kind of social media, except YouTube basically. Long videos for YouTube, and subtitles is a must. Headline is important again. What kind of thumbnail you use for your video, for any kind of videos, Facebook or YouTube, you need to put a thumbnail, what is it in that. Well, you need to summarize your whole video and what they're going to get in a thumbnail. So choose your thumbnail wisely. You need to give your proper video description. Earlier only YouTube videos were searchable. Now Facebook videos are also searchable if it is published to a Facebook watch, or if you publish it to Facebook story. So write a proper description and use selective keywords for that, so that they are also descriptive. And video marketing is also powerful, video content is also powerful, because let's say, let me show an example here. Let's say go to any website. Let me open it, just give me a moment. Video marketing is powerful because we can remarket those things. I don't see any video here, so let me see, go back to another page. Let's say you are doing a campaign. Like suppose if you are doing a campaign on upcoming event, upcoming election, upcoming what do you say, fundraising, upcoming sports, any kind of event. So normally what we do, we have series of articles, series of videos for the same campaign. So let's say I want people to watch a video or teaser first, and whoever has watched the video, I want that those audience to see another article. Let's say I want to do a series of 5 articles and want to make sure that people who have watched article 1, 2 and 3 should be able to watch article 4 also. So if I want to remarket them, let's say suppose this is a video and I put it on my social media, and let's say whoever has watched this video should be seeing that another video also. So if I want to retarget, remarket, then video is the best medium, because and both all the all kind of marketing platform, they tell us how many percentage of your video they watched. So have they just skipped it in the first 3 seconds? Have they done a through play, means let's say 15-second watch, or have they, how many percentage of the video they have watched? Let's say you do a 3-minute video and somebody stops it in 5 seconds and skips it. He's not interested or she is not interested. If somebody watches it for entire 3 minutes, he's definitely interested. So he is your ideal target audience, right? So video marketing and remarketing makes it very powerful. I can say that, let's say you had done a video 3 months back on a particular topic, and you have another sequel to that. You want to push another content, and so you would ideally prefer people who have watched your first video to watch your second video also, because they are known audience for you, right? So this way video marketing is powerful. And let me go back to that. Description makes it searchable. As I told, Facebook videos are also searchable nowadays. So if you put your videos on watch and Facebook stories, it is searchable. Blogs is like, it's the king of content marketing. So now, earlier blogs used to be like in third-party tools, third-party platforms like in Blogger, all this thing. Now people are hosting their own blogs, and it's not a in a new topic. I'll not tell you what is a blog, but what we need to put on blogs is we should put what people are searching. We should not put what we have basically. And if at all there's a content we want to push, we have to see what people are searching. Okay, what are the keywords they are using, what kind of questions they are asking. Okay, let me show you an example here. Without example, these things do not work here. Just give me a moment. I'll log into a screen and in digital marketing, the number of tools that come for us comes very handy. And instead of guessing, there is no guesswork in digital marketing basically, because everything is recorded, everything is basically data driven. We don't have to do a guesswork, and we can see, we can forecast, we can track everything. Let's say you're able to see my screen.
Yes,
I think
yes, sir.
only presentation was shared, no?
Yes,
yeah, we can't see your screen.
Okay, yeah. Now I'm sharing a very small tool, and I searched for corona treatment. Let's say it's the talk of the time now. If I search corona treatment, it will give me all this thing. It also tells me what are the related keywords. Okay, okay. There is not related. There. What are kind of questions people are asking? Okay, just a second. Are corona treatment free? Are COVID treatments free? All this kind of thing. What kind of preposition they are using? Okay, what kind of before and after the keyword they are using. It will, I can also search this kind of things, like what kind of things people are using in YouTube, what kind of searches they are using in Amazon, what kind of hashtags are used in Instagram. This is interesting. So if I want to post it on Instagram, I should use this hashtags, right? What kind of things they're asking in Twitter. So if I'm aware of these things, that if I want to know what is happening in the industry, what is happening in the digital platforms, and if I use those keywords, those hashtags, those kind of words in my blog title, in my blog, then I'm writing for the people which people are already searching, right? The very simple way to understand is type 1 or 2 keywords in your Google search, and Google will suggest you. If it will auto complete, right? Those are nothing but the keywords that are being searched mostly, correct? So we should also make our basically we should make our content organized by keeping it into proper categories or multiple categories. You should use tags. Tags are basically keywords. We should use images, because without images the blogs will not look good. If you have videos, we should also use it. Readability is very important. Like you read a book, if I give you a book without an index and the page wise index if I'm not given, that you will never read this book, because you don't know what is there in that. So if you're writing a blog, create five subtitles, then subsections, and create an index kind of thing, and put it in the top of the blog so people know what is it, what is it. Nowadays blogs are more intelligent. They said it's a 3-minute read or 5-minute read. There is a video attached to it, there is a audio also attached to it, so people can listen to it while driving. People can also see that if I read this blog, how much time it is going to take. So these 4 things makes your blogs more attractive, more reachable, readable, and also searchable, right? Now coming to the next part, these are the two kind of website. We can have our own website or others website. In our own website, this is one of the two real digital assets. So first one is your website, second one is your email list. So apart from this, whatever else is there, that is a rented platform, like Facebook, Google, or anything else, and any other website. Those are all rented platform, and we can't depend on that. But what we can depend on is our own website, because that is what we own. We have control of that, we have data of that. So we need to get our website SEO ready, search engine optimized, then categories and text is a must, and each news article should have a prime keyword and supporting keyword, so that we focus on being being searched by those keywords. In case of news website, it is very difficult. In case of static website, it's very easy to do an SEO. In case of news websites, we should do SEO for categories instead of doing SEO for individual articles, and that will be done. That can be done in a long run basis, so that I rank for a particular category instead of a particular keyword, instead of a particular article, and whatever I put in that category will come also in that SEO. Dynamic SEO, where you suppose you have 100 articles on a particular keyword, and suppose you publish a news in the morning and that needs to come in the search result by the afternoon. So how to do that? So having a good authority website, having a category ranking for a particular keyword. I'm getting some echo. All these things are essential, and we can do that. Tracking is very important. Tracking with Google or Facebook Pixel, Google Analytics and Facebook Pixel is essential, just because we can remarket them. Let's say I have a news that is coming on current affairs kind of category or sports category. So if I tell Facebook that show this new piece of news to all those people who have visited my sports page in last 10 days, so that makes sense. Instead of me showing an article to somebody who had come to my entertainment page, I would like to show it to that person who has come to my Facebook website and visited the sports page. So segmenting the relevant audiences from your website, segmenting the behavior of your people who are coming to your website, and showing them content what they like is more important. This can be done with this tracking. Social share is a very powerful tool, because news articles, news sites gets lots of visit because of social share, because people find it interesting, find it relevant, find it useful and usable, and they share, so that people in the social media network also read this. So this is very important. So this is a must and should for any websites. Coming to the other website, or if suppose you want your content to be published in other websites. So if you have a website and if you create a RSS feed, people can pull news from your site to their site. So that is one of the way to publish your content. You should also get backlinks, and you can go and post in other websites also, and also you can also invite other people to come and blog on your website. So those are called guest posts. So these three way we can get network with other websites and distribute our content and distribute their content. Yeah, social media wise, I would like to address this 6. I'll not tell you how to use Twitter, how to use Facebook. You guys already know. But I'll tell it from the news media point of view, media point of view. So Twitter is 140 to 280 characters. The interesting fact about Twitter is even if it is increased to 280 characters, people are so used to 140 characters that only 12% people go beyond 140 characters because I think they love it, like to keep it short and simple. You can tweet up to 2,400 tweets a day. Did you know that? So what is the secret of Twitter is constantly publishing content, and it is like a news board, right? It is like a news ticker. So every time they come, you see something new. So this is the best for media houses. This is best for news websites, and we should be using trending hashtags. We should use small video teasers. We should also tag relevant people. So this is how we can get more reach. Hashtag is the most important thing, and of course, what you write in that 140 characters is equally important, right, guys? Okay, what time it is? We'll take question and answers. I'll finish in my presentation in another 10 minutes, and we can take questions.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, you can continue.
Yeah. Facebook is more about visual appeal. Thumbnail or the image is very important. Videos works best as Facebook pushes it. Let us understand why it works, because Facebook and Google, YouTube basically, Google let's say, are both competing with each other to be the number one in video content. So whatever video you post on Facebook is going to be pushed by Facebook, because Facebook likes to reach out to more people through their video content. As I think Mohit was telling that don't share about YouTube because Facebook will not like it. The same way, if you share a YouTube video and Facebook post, Facebook doesn't like it, it hates it. So if at all you want Facebook to push your video content, upload the same video in Facebook separately, don't without sharing, or not sharing the YouTube link. Okay, so see the opposite side. YouTube doesn't even allow Facebook links to be shared in their platform. So why Facebook would like to do that? Thumbnail is important. Videos works for best. Relatively long description we can put in Facebook post. We should leverage the Facebook stories and Facebook watch. Facebook stories is like breaking news kind of thing. Whatever you want to highlight, it lasts for 24 hours and it reaches more number of people. Facebook watch is like a video search, like people watch it there. People can do watch parties, and this is also searchable. That is what makes it unique. We can do video view ads. We can use hashtags, but in Facebook doesn't encourage hashtags. There is not much relevance of hashtags in Facebook like Instagram or Twitter, but Facebook you can use hashtag as a keyword. It doesn't give you a push if you are using many hashtags. Video marketing is very powerful in Facebook. As I told, I can target people by the number of time they have watched, the number of time, the video length they have watched, and this tells me how interested people are in my video, in my content. So if I have done 10 videos in last 3 months on sports, and I want that all the people who watch this 10 videos on sports to see my next ad, so that can be done. Instagram, IGTV and Reels are very important. Reels is relatively new. IGTV is you can publish long content, you can do live. Reels is probably the shortest form of videos in Instagram, and you can do a quick 15-second video and tell people what you are doing. So if you are doing a daily stuff, you can do that, daily tip, daily news, daily breaking news for a particular city, something like that. We should use minimum 10 to 11 hashtags in Instagram. Don't use it in the description, use it in the first comment. Very less, you don't use very less text, because people don't read text in Instagram. Basically they are happy with the images, so your images should be able to convey all the messages. You can't share links in Instagram, so all that you can do it is put it in your bio, Instagram bio, in the top it comes, and people will visit that website. So if you want to highlight one particular category, one particular type, you can use that one. Video thumbnail is very important. Pinterest is a beautiful combination of social media plus SEO. Everything you put on Pinterest is searchable. Unlike any other platform, your Facebook posts are not searchable. Your Instagram posts are not searchable, even if it is public, apart from Facebook Watch. Okay, so Pinterest is a very good combination of social and SEO. Whatever you put on Pinterest is searchable, so use it wisely. We can use Pinterest to publish content which are graphic in nature, and basically infographics or list top 10 things to do, top 10 places to go. Probably we will not use it to publish breaking news or current affair, but you can use it for educative or a descriptive post. You get a backlink to your website, so you should basically, you can also organize your content in Pinterest by dividing it to different boards and sections. Boards means topics, sections means subtopics. I'll quickly finish these 2 slides and I'll take questions, because I also love it to be an interactive session. LinkedIn, I can use it. Yes, I can also. LinkedIn also pushes your content if it is good. If people are connecting to your content, it will also put it in trending section and you can reach more people. We should target news, information, articles related to professional people who are like in working class or business class, and B2B class mainly. We should write for specific industry. We should create a niche. We should write for different level of people. Suppose I'm like writing an article for top level of people, I should maintain that, so that is how I will connect to more number of people. LinkedIn also pushes relevant hashtags, so use it wisely. LinkedIn in fact suggests what hashtags to use based on your content. If you start typing, you can't put a video more than 10 minutes of length in LinkedIn, but yes, you can do a LinkedIn live if your live is approved. YouTube is very important because it is a search engine in itself. It has now like live chat facility. It has a community feature, so it is also a part social media in a small way. People can follow you, people can friend you on YouTube. So headlines are important, thumbnails are important, tags are important. Tags are basically keywords. Your timeline summary is important. Earlier, suppose you have a 1 hour video. So you can put timeline summary in that in the first 1 minute is about this. If you want to go to 5th chapter of this video, these are called chapters, this timeline summary chapters. 5th chapter is about a particular thing, so that can be done. End cards and suggestions are very important in YouTube because that tells you what to do next. This is because we have seen in YouTube, right? If you start search for one video, you watch one, and by the time you finish watching one first video, there will be another 5 videos in your suggestion list. That is how you end up watching YouTube for hours and hours. So that is the power of end cards and other stuffs. Presentation wise, let me just finish it. Few things I would try to say here. We write for the people, right? So we should think, we should see what they are searching, what they are liking. So we can test different formats of content, different types of text, different types of videos. And let's say in today's scenario, people love mobile videos instead of professional setup. If you are reporting something, do it as it is and people like it. Social listening is very important. We should understand what people are thinking about you, positive reaction or negative reactions. Sentiment analysis, this piece of news, this piece of content makes them happy, or they are angry, or they are sad, or anything like that. Engaging means getting their like, comment, reaction, says is very important. That keeps the post on any kind of digital marketing platform, any kind of digital media content. If you are getting engagement, means, have you seen that you post a photo of yours and some people get lots of likes and some people don't get likes, right? And some people keep on getting likes and it keeps on showing to you. Any secret? There is one secret that some kind of, see, it's not related to only boys or girls. Sometimes if you like somebody's profile picture also, that guy will say thank you for liking my picture, right? And you will say, you will click on that. Okay, he says that, okay, thank you for liking my picture, and that person will like that comment also. That is how it's a chain reaction. And when this kind of thing happens, Facebook will understand, or any other platform will understand that, okay, this post is getting more reaction. Facebook or Instagram doesn't judge your photo or post, but if there are more engagements, especially in the first 2-3 minutes, so best way to get engagement is to tag some people with the permission, of course, and use hashtag, or there should be call to action. Okay, do you like, if I say just put a photo, and if I say, do you like my profile picture, the photo is same, but the caption makes the difference, right? If I put a photo and don't put a call to action, then less people will see it, appreciate it, may or may not like it, but they'll just pass by. But if you say, okay, how is my new hairstyle, how is my new specs, okay, and if I do something and ask people, engage people, they are like, you are suggesting them to take action. So this kind of things helps a lot, because people think that, okay, I've created such a beautiful picture. Like, my male friend basically complained that, I put such a lovely picture, I did a professional photo shoot, still I don't get likes. And my friend who is a female, who had posted a normal picture, she got 100 likes. It's not gender discrimination, basically how they engage. Like, girls are very courteous, so they will say, thank you for liking my picture, and that Facebook understands that, you people are engaging. So engagement is the key of in any kind of social media platform, digital platform. If you're getting more comments, more likes, more shares, Facebook, Google, or any platform will understand that your content is important. That is how you get more people to see.
Sir, in context to what you're saying, can you throw some light on influencer marketing?
Okay, who is an influencer? Whom people listen to, right? Who posts genuine thing, who has achieved something, who shares something which is useful and usable. Okay, so now we have different types of influencers here. Okay, somebody who is a celebrity, that is understandable. But in our thing, how to become an influencer? How to become an influencer in your own field? Let us talk about media only, right? I'm talking about, let's say, I'm taking my example. How to influence people? People get influenced if they see an authority, if they see an authenticity, if they see you as a authority. Okay, if they see that you have power to suggest, you will become an influencer if they start believing you, if they start trusting you, if they start giving you respect in some means in your particular field. So this can be done by being consistent, first of all, creating content which is useful and usable. Third is creating content for your target audiences. I'm not going to that celebrity type of influencer marketing, but if I want to be an influencer in news and media, I should bring that is what you are asking, right? Like, contextual, like in our industry, in media industry, how to become influencer, how to use influencer marketing, correct?
Yeah, because we have a lot of aspirants in our like students group that who are
many questions
want to get into
yeah.
Get into influencer marketing.
Okay, so you can become an influencer by being consistent, first of all. Okay, being consistent, keeping an integrity that you whatever you promise, you fulfill that. If you promise that I'll bring you 100 news in 1 year, you have to bring 100 news by some means. If you, and also, yeah, don't do anything for the entire mass. Select your niche and create best content in the sense which is not there in the popularly in the popular channels, or which is searched by people but not available in the net. Okay, like while explaining my profile, Mohit said that S marketing, it's basically marketing. So when I started my agency, I said, let me be different. People are talking about marketing, I'll talk about marketing plus sales, right? So if you create your own niche, अपना एक अलग बनाओगे, तो people will understand that and they will follow you only for that. And when you have created a brand that yeah, this guy does this consistently, it's not that one time just a minute section kind of thing. You should create continuous kind of, you should create a series, you should create a series of content. You should create content regularly in a regular interval, so there is a pattern and people will remember you during that time. If I say every Saturday I started last year that, Saturday night with Shivram. So that looked funky. So people thought, instead of going to pubs, we will watch this guy in a 9:30 p.m. on a Saturday. So you should create something like that and get into a habit of doing it. People will also remember that in every Wednesday at this time, this guy will publish a news, right? Or this guy will publish a video. This guy will publish something which is interesting. So if people start coming to you again and again, you get some kind of, that is the first level of influence you create to people, that you create a place in their mind. They start following you. Second thing is how they are going to use it, how they are making life easier or better, or serving any content which they can use in their life.
Yeah, if you could also give little guidance to the students on how to start creating content creation.
First rule of content is, you should create content which is in demand, okay, which is trending, which is in demand. We should do a little bit of keyword research, and the basic and simplest way of keyword research is type one word or two word in Google search, and it will suggest you what are the things to be done. There are many free tools also. Let me show one or two. We have time till 11 o'clock, right?
Yes, we have time.
Okay.
And we have some questions also.
Yes,
There is one of our student who wants to know what is marketing, since you mentioned it.
Okay.
This is a question from Priyanka only, which Ritik sir just mentioned. She is asking, what are the main things one should keep in mind to catch more attention of viewers, which can be used in all social media platforms?
Let me read the question.
This is from Vaishnavi sir.
Okay, I can't see all the questions.
Sir, shall I repeat the question for you, sir?
Yeah, please.
This is from Vaishnavi. She's asking, what are the main things one should keep in mind to catch more attention of viewers, which can be used in all social media platforms?
Well, one format doesn't work in all, but what works I repeatedly told about thumbnails, right? If you search something in any platform, let's say you search something in Google or YouTube or something, the same topic, you will have multiple videos, multiple articles. As I showed about that breaking news example in text search, headline is important, visual is important. So your visual is your scroll stopper. We call it scroll stopper. Like, for every fashion show, there is a show stopper. This visual is your scroll stopper. So that grabs your immediate attention. So there are different elements of a social media post or digital marketing related content. First one is the emotion. Like, you stop because you like that photo. Like can be positive, negative also. You are either, concerned, you saw that, something which is different. So we see that, you get an emotion, then you find logic in that. Okay, what is it? You stop because that photo is, or that video thumbnail is impressive. Then you see what is it. Then you think, what is in it for me? Okay, then is it relevant for me? If these 4 questions are answered, then you click on and go to watch the full video, go and read the article. So emotion, rational, logic, then the benefit. If the 4 components are there in any piece of content, people are definitely going to engage with your content, read your article, comment on that, ask questions, or watch the video.
Yes, sir. So, how do they start the content creation?
Content creation start with,
you were showing certain tools.
Yeah,
also.
exactly. Yeah, I was showing that. So let me go to that. There are many tools. Probably if you allow, I will create a list and I can share it with you.
Perfectly, so it would be very nice.
So you can circulate among the key things. I need some homework. I'll do it. So this is one of the free keyword tools. So let me search. Please suggest a keyword for which you want to search. What people are searching. Please suggest a keyword.
Maybe, sir, you can search for this Beirut. What happened in Beirut?
BEIRUT, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The simplest way is this. type few words, and these are the top searches. Okay, Beirut news, Beirut blast, probably this type, Beirut explosion video, blast video, explosion. So if you create content related to this, it will work. This kind of tools also gives you an important, what are the top searched articles, top found article. Probably this is not relevant because it is not showing me latest data, but this is latest data. Okay, so here if you type a word, it will show you what are the best, like in most search thing. The first rule of content creation is we create content for our audience. So we should know what they are searching, what is in trend, or let's say I have an idea, I have to map it with their emotion. I have to map it, what is relevant for them. Any information that is, getting their attention and they can find something useful for their thing. I keep using this word useful and usable. My apologies. I love these words because any information that is on the internet which is not useful for me, I'll never go back to that website. I will never go back to that YouTube channel. It should give me something. If it is a video also, it should give me happiness. If it is a serious news, it should ask me to take action. If it is a charity related news, it should provoke me to do a donation. If it is a educative news or educative piece of content, it should provoke me to take action and learn. So coming back to the content question that that was asked, we should see what is in demand. That is one way of. Or second thing is, let's say I want to present something which is not in demand. Let's say 3 years back or 4 years back, a new product came which is let's say wireless charging device, or 5 years back. So nobody will search for it. Nobody knows about it, right? So I should position my content in such a way that I see every piece of content, every product, every service has a purpose. Why you create that? Because you want people to take some action. Okay, suppose political news ho gaya, any kind of news, it has a purpose. You want people to watch this and take an action, right? And that piece of news came because there is a problem or there is a good news, right? So you report a good thing or a negative thing, right? If it is a negative thing, you want people to support the positive cause. You want to take people to take action against that. So if what I will come back to the topic again, I got diverted a bit. First one is like, if you can create content for what is in demand. You can do it by doing keyword research. Second one is you have your own content. Then you have to map it to your audience. Find out who are your audiences. For example, give me a piece of news, or sir, give me a topic.
The topic could be related to the recent incident which happened in Kerala yesterday night, sir.
Okay, what is it about?
That was the crash. The plane crashed, and many people were injured, and the pilot also died in that crash yesterday. It was coming from Dubai.
Okay, so there are many angles to that. Why it happened? You can use the 5WH first of all in news. Why it happened, where it happened, when it happened, why it happened, or how it happened. 5WH works best in any industry. So this 5WH, why, where, when, which, all this thing you can do. That is the basic level of thing. Then you can create different angles to that. Like you said, you can create an article for families who are affected by this. Okay. Then what next can be one article point to that. You can tell the people behind this, people who are working for this, people behind this, who are supporting for it, how people, what do you say? How, okay, families angle we have done. So basically we have to find out who are the stakeholders, who are the entities related to this news. And you can create 10 angles from that. If you ask me, I'll say one article for the family, one article for, how to get compensation, one article on healthcare of those people who are affected, one article on the government's point of view, one article on what people are saying, one article on the life, who has experienced this such kind of thing, one article on what do you say, what technical point of view. So I can create different angles to it. Okay,
sir, can this site answer the public also help?
I was coming to that. You stole my word. You stole my word. Then one more tool, I'll just skip that because you have already told that. I'll tell you one more Beautiful tool. It's definitely going to help. I was coming to it. You stole my words. And,
Sorry about that.
no. You made my because of that. I'm presenting you one more tool. Let's say, let's say I say breaking news. Okay. The website name is Portent. Portent. Okay. Just put any word and you said it gives you content ideas here. Why breaking news beats peanut butter on pancake? This is just an example. Let's say, give me another example.
Maybe, sir, England and Pakistan test match.
Well, this kind of things will not give you the exact thing because this is a more recent thing. There is no data in that. England, Pakistan essay. This is not relevant actually. I had used it for my purpose and it gives.
Maybe, sir, you can then use IPL.
This kind of things, yeah. 12 reasons. If I put video marketing, it says 12 reasons video marketing is snackier than Gawker. Okay, with IPL. Okay, IPL you told, right? Why do people think IPL is a good idea? Answer the public is a good thing. Keyword research is a good thing. Google keyword research, keyword planner is a good thing. I'll create a list of things you can use for content creation, content ideation, and content curation. Which type of content I should use for my purpose. I need to do some workshop, but I'll make sure in a 2-3 days time I'll send you a PDF. You can circulate with your students. That will help.
So much.
Yes, sir. And sir, we have a lot of questions coming up.
Yeah, please, let us move on to the next.
The second question is from Priyanka Nathani. She's asking, is digital branding the same as digital marketing?
Branding is a part of marketing. Okay. Branding is how you want your target audience to perceive you. What kind of image, what kind of impression, what kind of tags, what kind of keywords. If let's say if I have met Mohit 1 hour back, so I'm carrying a brand. Okay, sir, I didn't get your name. The DMA shows DMA.
Yeah, Ritik. I am Ritik.
So I'm carrying a different brand image for you. तो कि मोहित हंसते रहते हैं, मोहित ऐसा करते हैं, ऋतिक ऐसा करते हैं, तो people create an image in their mind. So what image you want to put to your target audience mind is digital branding, like in how you brand yourself. So that is the first thing. Branding is an important part of marketing. So how it is different? Branding is just create an impression and that sets a base for your marketing. So branding is the first step. To talk about more tangible thing, let's say if I want to do a branding campaign in my social media, like Facebook marketing, let's say I would like to reach. If I do a branding campaign, Facebook will take me to all the people who have never heard about me, who have never liked my page, who have never seen an ad, never commented on my thing. Whereas if I do different type of ads, it will take out to people who have already known me. So if I want to do a branding, I need to reach more people and create an impression, right? Branding is a part of marketing. So that is the basic answer.
So there is another question from Kaushik Das. He's asking, as you explain the different features and elements of various social media channels, how can all of them be used together coherently for digital media marketing?
The purpose is different, as I said. Like Instagram is used by mostly young people, like 13 to 30 use Instagram most. Other little middle-aged people use Facebook. Senior people also use Facebook a lot. People who are not very fond of Instagram and Facebook and they use professional networking, they use LinkedIn. So depending on your content, okay, depending on your content, you can select the platform. See, suppose I want to sell pani puri. I have to find a place where people are more likely to have pani puri. I cannot put it outside a temple mostly. Okay, I have to put it outside a college, outside a theater, where people are most likely to have pani puri. Accordingly, I have to find out where my target audience is. But see, the way you present that content will be different. In a YouTube, I'll present it differently. In Twitter, I'll just make a short one-liner. So representation is different, but you can use not all, but maybe wherever your audience is.
Yeah,
Sir,
Anirudh is asking, is it legitimate to use thumbnails each time? Aren't thumbnails are termed as clickbaits?
If you use it as
So
a
he's a little
clickbait,
confused.
yeah, if you use it as a clickbait, it is a clickbait. But thumbnail's main objective is to give you a gist of what is. See, why you have movie posters, right? Thumbnail is your movie poster, as simple as that, as clear as that.
sir, there is another question from, I'm sorry I'm interrupting. There is another question from Yash Makija. He is asking, sir, what is S marketing and how it is different from digital marketing? And he's saying, according to him, the organic reach on Facebook is almost dead. So is it really worth to spend time growing your personal brand on Facebook organically?
It's not that, Yash. If you want to see, there is a way to keep them alive. Okay. If you only do advertisement, if you push your product and services, people will not come back. But if you create content where people are getting benefited without advertisement, people will keep coming back to you. My personal page has 2,500 likes, and any post I post, it goes to minimum 500 people. That is a good ratio. Without advertisement, I can reach. So the secret here is for whom you are creating the content, what kind of content you are posting on your social media page. If it is useful, if you are not being too salesy, if you are not being too pushy, people will keep coming back to your post. And S marketing, coming back to S marketing, ultimately the business's goal is to make profit. So it is a mantra, I use it actually. So when I started digital marketing as a commercial profession in 2017, I said like is not enough, you need leads. Then I changed my mantra, leads are not enough, you need sales. Okay, so now sales are not enough, you need profit. This marketing is a way where sales and marketing work in tandem with each other, and they work for a common goal, that is revenue, that is sales. Otherwise what happens is, okay, let me take one more minute to explain this, because let's say your sales guy should know what advertisement was given so that this lead came. Okay, let's say you are doing 5 campaigns or 10 campaigns, and campaign, like, one lead or one guy coming from campaign 1 is not same as second guy who is coming from campaign 2. So your sales guy need to know this lead came from this campaign, what was the offer promised, what was the marketing communication that was given to that guy, so that he came. So if I came for a pen and if I give a pencil, so that guy will be not happy. So marketing is a combined effort of sales and marketing team, without blaming each other, and working for a common goal, that is the organization's growth. I also include production guys, support guy in marketing. So you can call it smart marketing also.
Ansh Pandey wants to know about Reddit.
Reddit, I'm not very much aware of it. My apologies.
Sir, another question is from Shavi Mathur. She's asking, should startups also follow the basic digital marketing strategies?
Startups?
Should bootstrap startups also follow the basic digital marketing strategies?
Of course, they need it the most. Okay. And they should create communities. They should create communities in every startup. Now, I do understand that I have been part of many startup networks. I had the opportunity to work in NSR Cell Incubation Center in IMB. So every startup is here. They are very clear. Of course, every startup are very clear nowadays, and they know that their mentor, their incubation center will tell that what problem you are solving. That is the first question asked to every startup. Investor will ask the same problem. Mentors will ask the same problem. Even your customer will ask what problem you are solving. So if you if you are a startup, I think probably her question is about without advertising, without spending a lot of money.
Yeah.
Bootstrapped means you don't have a lot of money to burn. You don't have money to waste. So you should start building somebody talked about inbound marketing, organic content posting. You can still do that. It is very much there in trend. You can do it. Yeah, it takes a little longer. Like if you are taking an elevator or you are taking a stairs, ultimately you will reach there. But I do believe that I don't completely depend on advertisements. I take advertisements like a painkiller or a Viagra. So it gives you, it kills your pain for a immediately, or gives you an instant on. So apart from that, you should have your own vitality, you should have your own stamina, you should have your own strength. That is organic marketing, content marketing. How many times have you seen a news website doing an ad that go and watch my breaking news? Nobody does that, right? Because they have organically earned that place in Google search, and that they have organically. Have you seen any news social media platform doing a like campaign? They will never do, because they know that the content which they are posting on their social media is going to be useful, so they automatically get fans, followers, and visitors, right?
So there is another question from Nitin Sharma. He has actually asked two questions. He's asking, is third-party app affect your impressions on your post? And
Yes.
how can we boost talent-based content?
First question answer is yes. Third party, we should not. Third party apps, it affects, because Instagram, specifically Instagram, if I take, if I am typing a hashtag, and if you're copy pasting hashtag, it identifies that it is copy pasted, and it reduces the reach. Second question, please.
Second question is, how can we boost talent-based content?
I'm not clear on what is being asked.
Sir, I think since Nitin is he's interested in music, so that's why I think
Okay.
how can we boost talent-based content?
If you're a musician, then your content is your music. Okay. So reach out to the right audience. Say right audience is important. Who is your, you should see, you should read a lot of articles. There are tools like Social Media Examiner. There are reports by different organizations. You just need to see what is the trend. You just follow Google Trends, and you do a little bit of research on Google, and you can identify which age group is ideal audience for your content. Create it, put it in social media, and push it with relevant hashtags. Ask people to engage. Do you like my music? Do you like my song? Do you like my voice? So many kind of things. Engagement is the key.
Neetika has a very good question. What is involved in online public relations?
Oh, online public relation is risky, because you don't know whom you are reaching to. Okay, but yes, this is very popular. This is the online marketing, online advertisement has two parts. You must have seen that people saying wow in some of the posts, and people also abusing in some of the posts. So it's like you are open, you are in an open market. So how you present, how you
So ORM is a very major factor in this. Online reputation management.
Online reputation management. So we need to see that we talked about sentiment analysis, listening tools. So people are tagging you, people are using your hashtags, what they are talking about. So there are tools like brand mention.com, brands24, which tells people, how people are reacting to your marketing communications, how they are using you in tags, how they are using you in hashtags and all this thing, how they are mentioning you. So if you are solving their problem, your reputation will go up. If you are ignoring them, it will never go up.
Sure.
So it is also a good practice to ask people's feedback, take their testimonials, putting it in their in your social media marketing thing, putting it in their own social media thing. And just selling is not enough, right? Like you need to have this advocacy kind of thing.
Yeah, so the comments and the star ratings.
Yeah, exactly. Social proof is very important.
So there is another question from Priya. She's asking how to write blog creatively, and she's also asking, is there any website from where that she can learn to improve her writing skills so that her blog is popular and she could reach to more people?
Okay, find out keywords, find out what people are searching. Okay, if you would have been given any particular niche, I would have given more appropriate thing. But to write a blog, yes, it is. See, we need to understand every time that it is for our audience, that they are going to, if they are demanding it, if they are going to like it useful, they will use it. So first thing is to identify niche. What kind of niche? You cannot write it for everyone. I cannot have a blog says that it is for everyone, and today I write a blog on Facebook, tomorrow I write a blog on Pinterest, third day I write a blog on Instagram, and my people are going to like it. तो कोई था ना कि तू कहना क्या चाहता है, बोलते ना वो मीम्स था ना कि क्या बोलना चाहते हो, कुछ तो था ना. तो people will get confused कि किस चीज का एक्सपर्ट है और क्या बताना चाहते हो. तो but rather than that, you pick a micro niche or a niche for yourself and keep writing on that. So people will start associating you with that topic, and on instantly they will remember also. Your brains are very powerful, so it will tell you that hint that okay, Facebook marketing iska click jao, this kind of article iske paas jao. So suggest power of brain only suggest you, right? तो एक पर्टिकुलर ब्रांड में अगर आप निश बनाते हो तो दैट इज गोइंग टू हेल्प. सो टेक ए निश, फाइंड 10 topics, create subtopics, create micro topics in that. What I do personally, I have been doing for last 45 days is I have created a 365 days 365 tips marketing series, and I do one video, 3 minutes video in Instagram. Then I club 7 days video, 7 days content, and I create a blog. So monthly topic is, let's say first for this month my topic is audience targeting. I'll break it into 4 subtopics. So 4 weeks, 4 blogs. Let's say my monthly topic is let's say audience targeting. So I'll break it to 4 subtopics. Each subtopic is 1 blog. Each subtopic has 5 points again, or 6 points or 7 points. So every day one piece of content I'm creating, which is 200 words, 300 words, and I write it for 7 days. I create 7 videos for myself. Yeah, videos is more powerful, so I do also video. So 7 points makes 1 subtopic. 4 subtopics make 1 topic. So you get 4 blogs in a month. Weekly 1 blog is what I recommend initially. You can write more, and that's one, like, major topic. Then you could break it to subtopics, then break it to points. Start writing. Use tools such as Grammarly and other tools so that your grammar automatically improves. See what kind of words people are using. Blog should be like more personal. It should be like 1-to-1. If I say that once upon a time there was a king, that people are not used to, not like they don't like that kind of thing. If I say if I use a lot of passive voice, people are not going to use. It should be like an email. Your blog should be like an email and 1-to-1. If I say dear friends, people are not going to read. किसी और के लिए, उसके friends के लिए है. If I say dear Mohit will read it, right? And if I say if I should use you should do it, people will not like it. If I say I should do it or we should do it, people are going to like it. It should be more personal and more less ornamental words.
Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us.
Yeah.
I think, sir, we have a lot of questions, but we have short of time. So that's why, again, I would like to thank you for taking out time and explaining to our students the nuances of digital media marketing, marketing, and answering all the questions patiently. Now, I would request our Dean, Professor Dr. Ambrish Saxena, to kindly share his views on the session. Sir, please.
Thank you, Mohit. Thank you, Ritik. I was listening very patiently to the whole lecture so that I can also learn something, because for me and the people of my generation, this has come quite late. So we have been trying our best to learn whatever we can. And since I'm in the company of such faculty members who are well versed with these things, and particularly I want to make a mention of Ritik Ghosh, who is a combination of varied things, but particularly 2 things. I mean, one area of this digital media marketing and social media. I mean, both the areas he had an expertise on, and then the video production, and then the studio-based production, and so he knows everything. And in his company, I have learned a lot. But then I keep learning and I keep practicing, because even if something is told to you, if you're not practicing, then obviously you cannot have any hands into that. So I keep doing that in any session. I keep doing that whenever the session is happening. Like as soon as the Ritik puts it on the live Facebook Live, I send the notification to all concerned who I believe will be interested in listening to the session. At least 10-15 people, I send it immediately. I put it on my Facebook account because I have a large following and a great number of friend list. So there also it reaches to number of people, and it increases the viewership. So that is how I try to do. I have learned the hashtag thing as well. I have learned the thumbnail thing as well. So I keep learning because in today's time, if you are in media, practicing media, whichever compartment, whichever platform you are using, whether right from print to broadcasting, digital is an essential component. You cannot do anything without that, and the whole media is transforming that way. All channels have understood this. All newspapers have understood this, and for the last many years they have been trying to diversify because the future is the digital. And in educational institutions also, most of the institutions were believing till 5 years or 10 years back in the conventional mode of education. But that is no more there. Things keep on changing and things are changing very fast. So without understanding digital, as a teacher also, you cannot teach anything because now your role is not confined to teaching. It is a combination of so many things. And when you are dealing with the young people, then obviously they know more than you as far as the digital is concerned. So if you are not always updating yourself, and if you are not are well versed with whatever is happening in the world, in the media world particularly, then obviously there will be a gap between the teacher and the taught, and you will not be able to handle the things which you are supposed to handle. So in DME also, with the help of Ritik, and then other faculty members are very, very forward looking, like Mohit is very update on everything. Deepika, the one who is unfortunately not in today's session, she is also very good in this. And then Kritika has also developed a keen interest into this area. So more and more teachers are becoming inclined towards learning digital related things so that they can practice that in their delivery, in their education, and then also in the growth of their career. So I firmly believe that the session of Shivaramji would have benefited everybody, the students and the teachers alike. So thank you, Mr. Shivaram, to spare so much time and giving so much valuable input. Mohit.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Now I would request Professor Dr. Sushmita Bala, DME Media School, to kindly share her views on the session. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, Mohit. Actually, digital media marketing is the most upcoming area nowadays. And just sir says, I am not so comfortable in this digital media marketing or new media. So this is very new subject, and this is very interesting and informative subject. This session would have definitely benefited to our students. Thank you, Mr. Shivaram, for such interesting and informative session. Thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity again, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So on behalf of Delhi Metropolitan Education DME and DME Media School, I once again would like to thank Mr. Shibram Mishra for taking out time from his busy schedule and explaining us the nuances of digital media marketing. I would also like to thank the Dean, Professor Dr. Ambrish Saxena, the head of DME Media School, Professor Dr. Sushmita Bala, my co-host for the session, Mr. Ritik Ghosh, who has named himself as DME Media School, you can see, and all the faculty members and students who have joined and have asked questions pertinently. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
At Delhi Metropolitan Education DME, we have an excellent infrastructure. We have a studio for production which is known as Studio 62. It was inaugurated by Tigmanshu Dhulia, who is a noted filmmaker. And within the studio, we have so many facilities. We have a chroma setup, we have a news setup, we have a chat room setup, and since floor is splendid, we can shoot any kind of program. We also have a separate radio studio.
And we have also organized Mega Film Festival SIFI and International Conference ICANN, and received lots of films and received lots of paper in that conference.
For a college, the software is very important. In my college, the software comprises of three things. First is the teaching, second is the research, and third is the mentoring. With the help of these three softwares, we train a student in such a manner that placement is just a byproduct.
One of the essential features of Law School at DME is its well-equipped moot court. Since its inception, DME has organized several moot court competitions and workshops just to enhance the mooting skills, which have been conducted under the distinguished guidance of various luminaries from bench, bar, and academics.
Judicial Training Academy is the most shining feature of Delhi Metropolitan Education, Noida. We have a huge library to help out our students with more than 15,000 books, including Helsbury's Laws of England.
DME has a very robust library infrastructure that not only caters to the curriculum needs of the students and the teachers, but also provides a great academic ambience. The library is equipped with latest books, journals, and other e-resources.
At DME, we not only believe in academic excellence, but we also provide platform to students to showcase their talent through big open amphitheatre, beautiful auditorium, multi-purpose seminar hall, equipped with world-class facilities. Recently, we have conducted Cultural Fest Aloha in January 2020 and Anugunj, that is the Universal IP Fest, in February 2020.